Moving forward, our next keynote speaker is Jay Bindra, who is the Director Applications and Solutions Engineering at Infineon Technology. So Jaya Bindra works as the Director of Application Engineering in ICW, which is IoT, Computers and Wireless Division. She loves developing teams and employees to enable creativity in developing innovative solutions that makes lives easier and greener. Today, she takes pride in heading the Applications and Solutions Development Group at Infineon India, Bangalore. Her team always encourages her to be a better version of herself by showing her their trust and enabling her to learn something new and different every day. She was also a national level gymnast and still enjoys doing somersaults. She believes in solving problems in simple and innovative ways. She is passionate about technology and have authored more than 75 articles in international magazines related to IoT and embedded systems. She is also a column owner in an online magazine called as embeddedcomputing.com. So we welcome her and request her to take the dais.
Let's quickly dive into, because we have 20 minutes and try to keep it 18 minutes so that we can have good questions and sessions. So meanwhile, my PPT comes up. I would like you to imagine a world or a day, right? Let's take a day. You had a hectic day at your office. You are tired. You are stressed. And you come home. When you enter the home, the door automatically opens. Of course, no magic. There is an embedded AI device, recognizes your presence, knows you are the owner of the house, and opens the door for you. Once you enter, the ambient light sensor gently swept into a calming hue. Why? Because it senses you are tensed, you are tired, you are stressed out. By looking at your expression, walks, a lot of data that it collects to really confirm that yes, you are stressed out. As you enter more, there is a speaker speaking personalized to you. Hello Jaya, I know you had a hectic day, you look tired, but there is a good news. I just looked at your calendar and you don't have any more meetings in the evening. So you can relax a bit. You start walking and you go towards the fridge. And the fridge start talking to you or look at you. You know what? I have all ingredients for you because I know your favorite dishes, let's say grilled paneer quinoa bowl. But I have a new recipe. Would you like to make together with me? At this moment, the stress is converted into a smile, still not fully relaxed, and I am not in a mood to speak yet, but I nod my head. I nod my head, it recognizes I said yes. The kitchen has a beautiful display, along with the music coming up and saying me how to make my grilled paneer quinoa. That turns up, and the speaker knows my music, which I like when I'm cooking. Within minutes, when I enter, I'm cooking, I'm relaxing, and I'm feeling cared for until my loved ones come from the office. So now I'm not transferring my bad mood to them. By the way, I can make them more happy once they are back, right? Not just that. You know what's the best part of it? Whatsoever your mood, only your fridge knows you are sad. Only your TV knows, only your house elements know, but not the nosy auntie next the door, because the edge AI does not transfer faster than the gossip. Jokes apart, that's the reality. What people want? No status updates, no leaks, no uploads, no status quo. So the stress is known only to the fridge, but it's not used as a metadata for doing the calculations and other stuff, right? And that's the need of the hour. So let's look at it. Why the need of the hour is to have this AI ML model being run at the edge. And that's the topic for discussion today. Hope the slide is up now. Now, what do you see the strength here? I know most of you are engineers here. So let's take let's zoom out a bit in the past. What happens with Moore's law? Every year, we were doubling the transistor density to increase the performance. And it was happening for decades. Then the saturation reach. And when it reaches, there was an innovation need to happen to keep and saying that we need to do something different. So the concept of multi-core processor, GPUs, the custom accelerator all came in picture so that we can keep the pace with the innovation. The same is happening now. We were doing for years the AI or ML at cloud. what's happening? The cloud is cluttered. The bandwidth is constrained. The latency issue is there. You come home and you say, hey, Alexa, or any device that you talk about, it's first sending that command to cloud and then getting back, right? We can't even tolerate that hundred of millions of seconds, milliseconds to be used to send that data, right? So what's the need of the hour? The need of the hour again is privacy. I talked about, right? I want my privacy. When I enter the room, only my household things knows, but not the cloud data or anybody in the world that what my mood is, right? What my medical thing is, which I'm measuring or doing with my doctor or anybody, right? So privacy is a big concern. All this thing is leading to a new era, an era that is needed. It's a need of the hour. Let's innovate and let's see how we can innovate the devices. Now, what we are doing is, we all know MPUs can do it, but there is a new era coming. The MPUs are powered with M55, U55 core, U85 core, and now the compute capability is increasing, let's say up to 256 max, because that's the need of the hour to run this great models that we have to, right? A little bit more deep dive with the application example. What are the limitations of cloud AI ML? The very first one, internet connection needed. Let's talk about an application. There's an area and earthquake hit that area. And we built a fancy, a really nice rescue robot that can help us to, deal with that sad situation very fast and help the people out. What if you need everything connected to the internet? Can you imagine? Is there a stable internet connectivity in that area? Not at all. The need of the hour is to do most of the intelligence at the edge so that you can react faster. So that's the first thing. Internet connection is always required when you have a cloud AI connectivity. Second one, latency as known real-time responses. I talked about the command giving to your speaker, but in a car, when you are responding, you need the response very faster back to you, right? That's where the latency and non-real application take into. Every time you have to wake up the radio. You collect the data and you send it over the cloud. So you are always doing what? Collecting and then sending. That's the mantra of cloud. Next one comes is security and data privacy, as I talked about, right? There is always somebody listening to us what we are talking. I'm sure that what I'm talking right now, after I go out of the room, whatsoever I talked about the devices, the Facebook will give me all the crazy updates, say this is the discount on this device, that we're always heard. So data privacy is a real concern, right? You need to have a big cloud infrastructure, the communication data, especially with the large scale deployment when you have to do, the cost is really a concern. So what's needed? The need of the hour is how much you can innovate in the area of edge so that most of the mission controller things you can take from cloud and do at the edge devices. I'll not talk much about it, but all the issues that we talked in the previous slide can now be done, or most of it can be done by the edge AI ML devices. No internet connection needed, right? You can take the decision faster. Privacy is no longer a concern because it's confined to the devices. The way you are doing it, now you can have even battery operated devices. I talked about the rescue robot that can even be done by the battery so that, you can easily handle the situation you wanted with that device. Now, this is very interesting. In 2023, this report was published and we were seeing the trend of moving from cloud AI to edge AI. And it's predicted that we will exceed 4.1 billion devices which will be shipped with edge AI. Believe me, it will be much, much faster than or bigger than that because that's where the area is growing. So it's not to say that edge AI is the future. Believe me, it's a growing reality. It's a faster growing reality where people want to sense, discover, act, everything at the edge, not at the cloud. So let's deep dive into all the industries. Actually, what I talked about was the home example, but it's like applied to every industry that we can think of. Be it your, smart home, smart appliances, be your vehicles, anything that you can think about, right? Let's start with industrial applications. What happened? It's a peak summer. I know we don't get in Bangalore. We are lucky. I'm from Delhi, although my soul is Bangalore because I'm here for almost 20 years now settled. But having said that, whenever I travel to Delhi and a single day AC is not working, it's like a disaster. You can't even breathe in the house, right? So what's the need of the hour? The need of the hour is moving towards predictive maintenance, more than doing a reactive maintenance. Big factories, anything happen, we don't want to have a downtime. That's possible when you can actually sense everything in your device and you can tell when the malfunction is going to happen, so that you are given enough time of notice to really react to it. So that's called predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance is only possible when you have edge AI more than the cloud AI. Pick up a more example is smart home and security system. Sometimes I always want to wonder, we work with a lot of customers and they are coming up with smart bathtubs, smart showers. I was like, who wants this technology in the showers, right? When we are talking, let's have a peaceful, bath, at least not have technology there. But believe me, all the vendors, all the customers told me a very interesting use case. They said, you have elderly people at home. They are taking a bath, they had the fall. You want to know what happens, right? There are smart tubs. Your heart rate went down or whatsoever happened without even wearing a gadget. Is the smart tubs take care of it? So it can give you alarm when something goes wrong. So smart home is entering into an unconventional application that we can think about, and that's only possible with the edge AI. Then comes the consumer electronics. My favorite one in consumer electronics, or I call it maybe in the domain of portable medical, right? So I'm a really, really social media person. So you can see LinkedIn, all these videos where I'm talking about all these customers video that we have done. Interesting thing is with the portable medical, the stethoscope that you see the doctor wear, from 200 years, no innovation happened there. Recently, we were working with a company called Echo Health in US. And what happens in the remote area, right? We can never replace doctors. Believe me, they'll help us to design how a digital stethoscope should take care of this data so that we can have intelligence, AI training algorithms to run to give you the results, right? Remote area, those doctors done researches, years they study. With just putting that stethoscope in their ear, they can tell there is a murmur, there is a lung, there is a heart disease or whatsoever. But we can't have that training everywhere, especially in the remote areas. So the stethoscope, even though I'm not trained at my home, I can take care of my parents and telling doctor what I'm not hearing, what I'm seeing on my data and send to them so that people can take even the remote hospitals. That's only possible with the edge AI devices. The innovation is happening. It's mesmerizing how it is entering in all the industries that you can think about. The power tools. I'm not good in making drills or anything, but my AI power tool, believe me, I have it. It guides me how to make a precise drill. Not just that, it guides me how to do it, right? And step by step. So industrials, the big manufacturing can be enabled by intelligent power tools, smart vehicles, right? Anushka just showed about an interesting video of making that jazzy music, but even in the safety conditions, you want reaction very quickly. If AI takes that, it happens much faster, and even the safety, our entertainment, our communication with the car can be improved when we do the edge AI stuff. So before I play the video, I want to tell you, we talked about why edge AI. I gave you a practical example and how we do it. Now let's talk about how the technology is evolving to make this happen. So I was talking about the MCU's world getting enhanced. And I'll show you where the bar comes between the MCU and the MPU with examples as well. But this is where all the domains that we are innovating so that you can do. So yes, there was a world years back when you can't change the silicon that faster. So most of the intelligence was happening at the software level. But until you do the innovation at the hardware, now the software can even extract much, much better than what it was doing just at the software level, so that you can do real magic with the AI, with the real use cases that you want to develop, right? Now, let's start with the hardware portfolio first, right? As I talked about, you need everything at the hardware level to make things happen, right? And what you need more memory, you need more compute power. I talked about you can go up to 256 max and that's getting increased. You need AI accelerators to make that happen, right? So a lot of innovation we are doing, and I'll show you a glimpse or details of piece of case device so that you can get idea of it. But hardware is not just sufficient, right? You need stringent software and tools. You need whole ecosystem for making it, extracting that hardware value. You can have, lot of features, but do you want techie to use that end device? No. Do you want a ARM army to use that? If you want that to happen, then it need to be easy to use. So even for developer, you can't be saying, I will do innovation for 5 years and then my product is out. Even the vehicles, I'm mesmerized with the software-enabled vehicles. Now you can have the cycle of every new car. China is predicting we will have in 6-month cycle, which was done till now 5 years, right? The world is moving from 5 to 2, and mesmerized to say that people, it's no far future where you can have every new car in 6 months. That's what they launched, right? Interestingly, I want to also talk about right level of security, but I'll give you an example. I don't know how many of you know, Infineon is known for security. We have 50% share of debit and credit card. I'm sure that, what does it mean? 50% of the population sitting in room, in your pocket, that you are carrying a debit and the credit card, that's from Infineon. The 60 to 70% of share for e-passport we have from Infineon. Why I'm telling you that? Infineon is known for ages the security company that can do really keep your data secure. What we did, we learned from that security IP, and now we have introduced that security IP in our MCUs so that we can have your security and data privacy with the Edge AI devices. So that's what we say. We have right level of security that needed. Interesting thing, the world where the connectivity is evolving, we have kind of the Europe, right? Europe is mandating a thing called CRA, Cyber Resilience Act. That means any device which has a connectivity in it, you have to prove the level of security in it. And that's the reason, even this PSOC Edge device, we are engineering samples right now, but we have more than 5 success stories. The customers already building it because of intelligence and the right level of security that you need to have in the device. So the conclusion, you need not just the hardware, you need the complete kind of ecosystem software to make that intelligence happen at the edge. So let's do a deeper dive into consumer devices, of course, our favorite topic, because we have wearables, we have smart rings evolving up, smart glasses, and whatnot in the consumer domain, apart from the mobile that we always love and carry, right? So what's happening that? Every vendor what's their struggle? They know they have more features, then another person come with the same feature or more feature. They're finding it tough to differentiate. I introduce more feature, how do I maintain my BOM cost? It's still very high, right? So there are a lot of challenges that every company today is facing because of saturation happening with the normal way we are doing it. So what's the solution to that? You want to have more features? You want to extract that complexity to your level, not passing on to users. You want to have in a cost-effective way. You need to all powered by the small battery, right? We hate all powering our smartphones daily. We love if we can, charge it every 5 years. I just invested in a very heavy watch only for one reason. It have a battery life of 3 days, right? Rather than 1 day, so that when I travel for 3 days, I don't have to charge. So you want more features, you want less cost, you want more power, not less power hungry and more battery power. All this can happen magic only when you have Edge AI, and that's the dominant factor today in every devices that we talk about and trying to make a difference. And again, second thing that I talk about, makes the device smarter, whether you are connected to internet or not, doesn't matter, right? So it's really enabling a new level of user intimacy that we need to have, and that's the interesting world getting into. Now let's deeper dive into the next generation MCUs that we are doing. PSOC Edge is a newly launched device from Infineon. It has 3 cores. When you want to be in low power mode, for example, I'm wearing a smart watch, I'm walking, I want to be always in low power so that I can preserve my battery life. It only listens when I speak or when I really want it to turn on. Very intelligent, listening to me all the time. But when it's listening to me all the time, then that means you think about draining a battery. You are waking up CPU every time. Believe me, it doesn't happen. We have invented a new audio IP. You need 0 CPU wake up. It has its own NL light, it has its own DSP engine, it has its own analog IP that's always listening at the edge and then waking up only when it is needed, right? So that's where we call about 3 powerful core. M33 doing the magic whenever you need the low power operation. M55 when you need to switch to high compute, more processing, and it has its own dedicated Helium DSP. And then whenever you want to do machine learning, it has a dedicated Qualcomm U55. Along with it has a hardware and compute capability so that you can have very, good amount of machine learning can be done at the edge. And of course, I talked about known for ages, for security. Why not to take that IP and put it on our Sirical? That's what we did, and powering us more. And it has tons of peripherals that you can think about. Ethernet, graphics, the audio I already talked about, right? So tons of peripherals, tons of compute power, tons of machine learning, everything enabled in one device so that you can start thinking of a new use cases altogether and empowering your customers to build those devices with it. So I'll quickly glance with the trust of time, but we have families. Sometimes what you need is, it's not a big application. I want small intelligence, but I'm cost optimized and I want to do that. You can start with smaller series, and we have up to 128 Mac, of course, coming more in future. Stay tuned. And a lot of innovations where you can have full-fledged AI, capability to be running at edge. So depending on your application, cost optimized, you want full features, you can select a plethora of devices based on your needs. Time 3 minutes. So I'll try to escape this quickly with examples. Traditionally, if you think either it was done cloud at edge, then move the world, you definitely need a costly MPU, but they're very costly, as I talked about, right? So you have, let's say, vacuum cleaner, low to mid end to high end. When you say low to mid end, very costly to use MPU. But unfortunately, we did not have options of using MCU. But with latest edge MCUs, now you have a capability of taking a lot share from that traditional MPU, and then you can really do magic with the MCU by providing more battery life, less cost, more memory, even doing for the application that is needed than your MPUs can support today. So these are all the things that I talked about. So I'll skip this. You need ultra low power, you need more security, you need voice, you need presence detection, gesture, doing a couple of things. That's what the MCU edge kind of platform enables you to do magic with your next level of software then and do it. And to give you an example, what are the main areas if I want to talk about where we are investing? I talked about that analog audio capability that we have developed. So we are focusing more on making HMI more better. We are making audio more better and vision. So these are high level 3 things I can talk about where the innovation is happening in the area of all these applications where we want to power with PSOC edge devices. Now I talked about a new era, right? Yes, silicons need to evolve. All I will say revolutionize, not just the evolutionary, right? It's need to be revolutionary, but your software also need to be revolutionary. You need to have platform and tools. We have a ready-made solution, so you get a variety of customer. There are customers who come, I have an idea, I don't know about I have my data also, right? Let's say a lot of medical companies even have a lot of doctors with it because they need data. I have data, but I don't know how to do training model. Yes, come to us, we'll help you out. Then they say, I have my data, I have my models, I want to run on your MCU. Yes, we'll help you out because we have a converter to help you out. Okay, you say that I don't know anything. I just have a use case. I don't know how to develop this, collect this data. I want to do, machine learning training, everything by you guys. I even don't understand that. We can help you with that. So we have a full ecosystem to support you from idea to development to the deployment, because ultimately you have to do even deployment at the last scale that you want to do, right? So bring your own data, bring your own model, bring your own use case. We are ready to help you out for your applications that we want to do. So we were confused and we were thinking of different names what to call this tool. We finally came up with a tool and we launched it last year called DeepCraft. Deep words comes from deep learning. Craft come from being creative. So we want to use deep learning, edge AI with your creativity to make things happen with DeepCraft. And you will see a new thing that's getting launched in next 2 months. So you stay tuned and you can get in touch either on LinkedIn or through our website, anywhere. And you can say about Face ID and even the fun things like, pay proxies where you can do the vision thinking and do it. So we are creating a lot of models for you. If you see the world of today, when we talked about cloud AI, they are open source. There is a hub available you can use, but there is yet to develop an open source for edge AI. And there are multiple companies partnering to do that. With our DeepCraft hub, you can even have open source model available to you to deploy in your platform, in our platform, to do the magic for your applications. And summing up all together, be security cameras, be smart home, robotics, HMI wearable, every world, believe me, is getting transitioned by making use of edge AI. Last, summarizing it, yes, we all discuss the need of the hour is to have a new platform engineered right from silicon up to software to whole ecosystem, so that you can do most of your intelligence at edge, not the cloud, so that internet connectivity or the data security is not a big concern. Not about it, you want to make developer life easy. Whole ecosystem is needed to make it happen. Get ready to use the DeepCraft along with PSOC Edge or along with your applications. And we can help you with our knowledge that we have developed. What are the use cases really you want to develop for your AI applications? Hope that was exciting. I was in time, so you can ask me more questions or 1 or 2 depending on the moderator choice. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, dear.
My name is Varuna and I'm an interaction designer. And being an interaction designer, I think we we can't talk about consumer electronics without talking about financial viability, modularity, and accessibility. We currently have home automation systems in place. How does Infineon sit with the current systems that are in place? If it doesn't, how do you plan to do the transition? And what's the financial viability for a person who's like an average person who's investing in consumer electronics for better quality of life and better security?
Absolutely. It's a good question. I will fold that into two answers. One is, she asked a very beautiful question. I have already invested a lot in my home gadgets, right? Can I upgrade them without upgrading to the latest devices? I'll put into bucket. Now, even though I can upgrade to the new devices, how easy and cost viable it is to use that. Hope I got your question right. So answering the first one, actually home is a different domain. We have seen that in industry, especially heavy machinery. People don't want to invest. So what people are doing is they are coming with a converter kind of a device. I take your information from the current system. I have a small converter built in. Take that to do my AI and send back. So that at home itself, we are seeing customer coming up with that. So we do help them develop that small system that they can convert into AI. The second portion is, even though you do it, how cost effective. Actually, the whole mantra of doing MCUs when we started to have that cost thinking. If you pick up any MPU, sometimes it's a very larger MPU is needed. We can't even go with MCUs yet. Maybe the future goes. But there are a lot of applications where MPU is overkill. But unfortunately, they were supposed to use that because there was no options. The good news is now we have option. And the third portion, even though you're in domain, some company says, I can't even invest in a lot of engineers now who understand AI ML. Over the world, we will have AI ML people, but they don't know. So let's partner together. We know the use case, or you know the use case better than us. We'll help you port it to our hardware level and software level, and let's innovate and together. That's the mantra, by the way, of doing it. Hope that answered the question.
Thank you, ma'am. It was great listening to your presentation, and with this particular thing, I can definitely say that our go-to-market strategies will be a lot much better, where we can take your help and design the products, and then we can sell it out in the market. We are the next generation entrepreneurs. So may I just request Sandeep Agrawal sir once again to come on the dais and give a token of appreciation. Ma'am had also mentioned something about the predictive maintenance and the preventive maintenance or the reactive maintenance. So I keep doing it every day at home, hoping that the wife is not angry. Okay, so I keep doing a lot of predictive maintenance there.